Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our first viewing reaction for The Expanse Season 2, Episode 9, entitled The Weeping Somnambulist. I'm sure I will say it improperly. This is one of those words, somnambulist. I can never do it well, but all right.
I will definitely say it improperly, so I am not going to say it at all.
Yeah, pronunciation, not always my strong suit, but maybe I got it right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We got a lot to talk about here when it comes to the state of Venus. I think quite possibly the best episode for Bobby Draper as a character that we've had so far. That's at least my take on it.
I agree.
And then also, the Weeping Somnambulist in general seems to be a site where a lot of weeping probably is actually going to occur at the moment based on the craziness that we saw unfold there. Before we do anything else, though, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to Carter Matt on YouTube, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other video discussions as we work our way through Season 2. We actually don't have that far to go until we're at the end of this one.
Yeah, just a few more episodes.
Yeah, and so this, to me, I think it's really a lot about Holden in an interesting way.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay, I feel like what we're seeing right now is sort of Holden working to take more of a leadership position, and we saw this previously, but he's also kind of learning along the way that there are all of these sort of problems that come with being a leader, including, what ends up happening here where they get on board this ship, the Weeping Somnambulist. And, this woman, Melissa, is there with, I believe it's her husband. And they're trying to just basically do their job. They get invaded effectively. And, it's not as though Holden wants anything to happen to her or any of that, but,
No, but it is throwing everything that they're doing off. They're just trying to, it seems, bring resources and help and, I understand why Holden had to make the decision that he did, but at the same time, I don't know that it really needed to go down like that. They were all kind of headed to the same spot.
They were all headed to Ganymede, and yet when these pirates do arrive near the end of this episode, it feels a lot like, could this situation have been diffused another way? I think that is sort of the big question that we're wondering.
I mean, that's why I was kind of wondering. I understand why Holden and the team decided to go about things the way that they did. But at the same time, after seeing how it all ended, I do kind of wonder if they had taken another approach with the two of them, would there have been a possibility that they would be willing to work with them to bring them there? Did they have to hijack the ship? Did it have to be kind of that contentious? Or was there another way? It's a really tough situation because everyone's tensions are so high right now.
And I think a lot of it, too, is this sort of journey of Holden from where we saw him sort of as the reluctant hero back in the pilot to where now he's taking everything on, but in taking everything on, is he also then losing a part of who he once was?
Well, there is a little bit of that because we did see him getting ready to go and shoot Cortazar. So, that's something that would have never happened before. And he is thinking about some of these things, and things are changing a little bit for him. I don't know if it's all for the good or all for the bad, or it's mostly just him still stepping into this role and having some stumbles and having some wins, that it's coming out average.
I think coming out average, that's what we always like to see from James Holden. No, I think it's a lot of it is just survival instinct, I guess, to a certain extent, where if you go through some of the stuff that he has gone through, maybe he's just sort of thinking, you know what? I don't want to be put in these positions again, so I'm just going to shoot first and ask questions later. But I think that does what it's causing him to come out average, to use your term here, because in doing this, he's going to have some wins and he's going to have some losses and he's going to have moments where people are like, is that really the right way to go about things?
Yeah, which is pretty much what, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Bragg said today. That it was, your plan sounds kind of vague. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, that's kind of average for us. We're rolling in luck sometimes, and sometimes not so much, like what happened at the end of this episode.
Yeah, and I mean, Prex even himself was sort of wondering, am I actually a partner on this ship, or am I a prisoner on this ship?
Yeah, because it seemed like I guess he's kind of in the middle of that.
Yeah.
He's not exactly a prisoner, but he's not exactly a partner either.
He's a partner. Thank you. You're welcome. But yes, that's what's going on at the moment for Prex. He's having a real tough time. But it seems as though with what's going on with his daughter, maybe there is some information there that can prove useful here to the rest of the team.
Yep.
So I feel like Holden, eventually I think he'll find his way. I'm hopeful, not to mix space metaphors here. I'm hopeful that Holden is not turning to the dark side.
I just find it really interesting where we are with him from season 1, where I was having a really hard time connecting with him. And now that he's a lot less of this do-gooder knight that's out there to do the right thing, but kind of a slackery good, do-gooder. Yeah. Now there's a lot of different layers to him, because it feels like he's really trying to figure out his place as a captain.
Yeah.
What's right, what's wrong, a lot of stumbles, which I'm really happy to see, because that's what it would be like.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have a guidebook. I don't think there is any, so you want to be a space captain manual, where you pick that up and it tells you how to do this stuff.
Yeah, and everything is situational, so it does come with, oh man, okay, we handled that really bad, or okay, this one turned out all right, let's put that one away for later.
Like, the good news, I guess, is that it seems like everyone's probably going to get to Ganymede, but at least that's how I'm viewing it right now. But the bad news is, in doing this and making their way towards Ganymede, there's already been a cost. There's already people now who were dead, who were not dead.
They've destroyed her life.
Yeah, they've pretty much wrecked this woman, Melissa. And
yeah, they've taken over the ship. They've taken over all the goods that are in the ship. Her husband is dead. Yeah. All these other people are now dead. She's left just weeping, as the the episode said. And they have effectively ruined her to catch a ride, is what it feels like.
That is exactly what has happened, and maybe I'm wrong and they won't even end up being on Ganymede where they end up wanting to be, but it feels like it was a lot to go through with the cost sort of factored in, that cost being human life. But, I think what was interesting about this entire episode is that even though we didn't actually physically see that much in the way of proto-molecule stuff up close and personal, it sort of resonated through every single part of the story, where almost no matter where we were, let's talk briefly about this little mission to Venus, because otherwise I will totally forget the name of this ship, Arbogast, which I've had to tell myself time and time again. There's a lot of ship names, and not the kind we're used to talking about.
Oh yeah, there is, and I'm not remembering any of them. That's why I'm not even saying them. I'm not here to butcher everybody's ship names. I'm just gonna let you have that, and I'm just gonna nod or no.
To me, the big cornerstone at the moment of the Venus mission is sort of getting a sense of the atmosphere and getting a sense as to what's going on here. And you could sort of see on their big sort of, map, if you will, that there's something that is awry in the spot in which Eros landed. That has people curious.
Miller! Oh. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I won't use that joke every week. But
what if Miller was just floating up above the atmosphere and just like, hey guys, welcome to Venus.
No,
this
I
is
don't
my home now.
That, but it is interesting that there is this big sort of hot spot there, and it's probably just molten rock at this point. But
who knows?
I gotta keep hope alive. This proto-molecule, I don't know enough about it to say that for sure.
Yeah,
he's gone. Maybe there's a little bit of spirit in there.
I don't know.
Man.
Well, the thing is, I remember when I was a kid reading all these books about space and various planets, and from what I remember reading, Venus isn't the sort of place a human life can thrive, but at the same time...
But maybe a proto-molecule can.
We don't know what keeps this stuff alive. We don't know where it can function and not function.
Yeah, it mostly just seems to live off of energy, and if it's... big explosion, possibly more energy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm way off here. I mean, I just don't know enough about it yet.
But I think Christian's dialogue, as we start to move into Christian's storyline, which was really good, but that Eros changes everything. They don't know what's right and up or down or left or right anymore. It's just like everyone on The Expanse is as lost as everyone watching The Expanse at the moment, and I think I very much appreciate that because it makes everyone so much more relatable.
Yeah, for sure. I really relate to Christian on this, where she really doesn't know what's going on, and she really wants to know what's going on. I am here with you, Christian. I also want to know what's going on, but I'll say it with less F-bombs.
Christian was boss in this episode tonight. Like,
she is so good.
Like,
oh my god.
If I was in the room while Christian was doing that, I would have been one of these people who was just like, yeah, and I would be like getting up and like
I'd be
celebrating.
up and just applauding that.
I feel like Christian had her equivalent of like a 50-point game in the NBA tonight, where she's just like hitting every jump shot and she's like going to the foul line, and she was killing this episode from start to finish.
Oh yeah, I don't know who you are, but take a seat.
Yeah.
Woo! I loved it.
I loved everything about it. I also loved that I think it actually, like, she is responsible for helping Bobby Draper as well become much more of an interesting character in my eyes.
I agree. And it may have taken for me someone like Christian to bring that out for me of Bobby, because I have been having such a hard time, and I'm still not 100% on board here, but seeing the interaction with someone like Christian, who I love, was really entertaining and very interesting.
I've come up with the superpowers that are in The Expanse. I've been bringing this up for episodes now, that maybe someone with superpowers is on Ganymede. I don't believe that this is true.
All right, let's have it.
However, I believe that Christian may actually have superpowers, and her superpowers is making people around her more awesome.
That is a superpower, and I agree, because I didn't know if I was going to have anything with Bobby, but, I'm there.
I actually now want to see, Bobby's vulnerable side. I kind of want to know, like, what's on her Netflix queue, what's she doing when she's not working. Yeah, I'm being metaphorical here.
I'm not there with her yet. I mostly want to see if she's actually going to break away from what she's been trained. Like, I wasn't surprised to see her, I wasn't surprised to see that Christian was able to get out of her about the guy who was not in the spacesuit, because it's such a shocking thing for Bobby to see that it makes sense that it would just come out. It's so shocking. It's like seeing a unicorn made of diamonds standing on your front doorstep. You can't not tell people. Eventually it's going to come out. But at the same time, she is still Army. She has been raised to be this way, that you are Martian, you're Army, you stand by what you have to, whether, you believe in the cause, no matter what you have to do. So her having to lie about her friend, lie about shooting first, lie about all this stuff, I'm not surprised that she is still in that frame of mind. And I'm glad that she's still in that frame of mind, or I don't know that I would believe it. Yeah. It's, for me, going to take time to watch her unravel if that's what ends up happening. It's just nice to see that Christian absolutely knows that there is something else going on there, and if anyone can get it out of her, it's going to be Christian.
I have a metaphor. It's an odd one, but just go with me here for a second.
All right.
So there is a series of video games, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And when you're Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, you're trying to get information out of people sometimes on the stands, and you have a lot of different dialogue options that you can do, or different decisions you can make in the courtroom. And sometimes you're able to do something to get the witness sweating a little bit, and then maybe they'll tell you a tiny bit of information, and then you can realize you have like a little exclamation point. You're like, I'm getting it here. But then you sort of go another direction, and then all of a sudden they're sort of back to their old marching orders of what exactly it was that they were supposed to do.
Yeah, they go cold.
Yeah, and that, Christian, you are Ace Attorney material tonight. You brought some information out of Bobby, but because like you said, Bobby is so ingrained in who she is that once that pressure of that courtroom drama just starts to diffuse a little bit, then she sort of reverts back to who she's always been.
Well, also, she, I'm sure, remembers that it's not like she can tell Christian what's going on.
Yeah.
And then she has to go back to Mars.
Yeah.
With these people.
Yeah.
That are going to feel that she just betrayed her people, the Martian army, the whole planet. She will be kind of seen as maybe a bit of a traitor. She just watched her friend become a scapegoat, so she might be thinking, well, what's going to happen to me if I tell the truth after I've been told not to? She still has to go home.
Yeah. You know what? I think really Bobby Draper needs some of Alex's lasagna that he gave to everyone else. I think that will help make everything better.
I feel like I need some of Alex's lasagna. I love that has come back into play again, because it's the one thing that continues to remind me that this crew is a family.
Yeah.
That sort of Sunday family dinner type deal that you see on like a Blue Bloods or in people's families. So it's nice to see that come back into play again, to be like, oh, well, here's a lunch. Take it with you. Be careful. Call me when you're done.
I do have one question.
All right.
Is lasagna a good to-go food? Because it feels like it's hard to eat lasagna on the go. You gotta, like, stationary. Are you just gonna pick up the lasagna and just, like, shove it in your mouth?
Well, it's also in such a cool pan. Like,
yeah, that's true.
It's made in such a way that it feels like it's gonna stay in place. You just gotta scoop in your fork and lasagna it up.
Okay, all right. So, we're obviously talking about the important things at this moment, but
I think that's important.
Yeah,
I like that even though there are some secrets that are still going on with Naomi and everybody's kind of dealing with some stuff, Alex is holding the family together.
Really, somebody needs to at this point.
Yes, and it's one of the things that I really like about Alex.
This was a fun episode. I mean, yeah, it was dramatic and, sad at times, but there was a lot to just, I think, unpack, and I think most importantly is good character stuff. And good character stuff for Bobby, which, again, I'm still not, like, right on board with, Bobby, but it was a great story for her to see her fighting what she's been brought up to believe and the insane stuff that she saw. Yeah, we're getting there, Bobby. We're getting there. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily Team Bobby just yet, but I'm sort of like, I don't know, I'm like minor league Team Bobby right now, where if she keeps improving, we'll end up going up and going, and then we'll be like, like I went with, like we were with Miller, sorry. Had to bring that up again. Oh, that's all right. That's how I am with Team Drummer right now, even though I know last time we saw her, she wasn't in good shape. Well, Drummer needs some time to just, like, recharge, prepare. When she'll come back, she'll be totally fine as though nothing ever happened. I hope so. But anyway, let's hear from you guys. What did you think about The Expanse Season 2, Episode 9 when you first checked it out? Were you weeping like poor Melissa on the Weeping Somnambulist? Be sure to let us know in the comments and also give us a like, subscribe, and if you want to support us more, check out the link in the description to the Carter Matt store. We are going to go off to look for some of those diamond unicorns you were talking about a minute ago, and we will see you guys here next time.